Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Shodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Muna Tira Vanachari Ayuradha Madhava Kunja Bihari Ayuradha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradhari Vallabha Grivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Shodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Natira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna dear devotees. So today I was asked to give a Srimad Bhagavatam class. So yeah, it will be in English. Yes. Let's start with the Transcendental Diary. Let's continue with Transcendental Diary. Today we are reading. Today it's December 23rd, Bombay. After greeting their lordships, Shri Radharasa Bihari, and received Guru Puja, Srila Prabhupada took a tour of the building site. The foundation work has begun, and some of it is already completed. He made a thorough inspection, questioning, advising, and discussing the overall plans with Surama. He seemed satisfied with the progress and proud that the building will be unique in this area of Bombay. It was a long, hard struggle to get the land, hold onto it, and finally obtain the permission to build. Now, with the same determination and strong desire, Srila Prabhupada is pushing on the building effort. This will be the biggest temple and ashrama complex in ISKCON to date, and he wants to offer it to their worships Shri Radharasa Bihari. So, December 24th. This is Prabhupada's final day in Bombay. He's scheduled to go to Gujarat tomorrow. Dr. Patel joined us again. Or maybe someone has a question to the previous part of the previous day. No. Okay. Dr. Patel joined us again on the beach. His good humor restored. The doctor has previously extolled the value of experimentation and the search for truth, so Prabhupada took it up as today's theme. He challenged Dr. Patel why the truth should be the subject of experimentation. If one knows the truth, he said, there is no question of experiment. As usual, after some debate, Dr. Patel concurred. Srila Prabhupada emphasized the principle that although the method of searching for the truth may be experimented with, the truth itself is not the subject to experimentation. As we headed back toward the temple, we observed the man and woman on Juhu beach going through their daily routines, variously swinging their arms and legs, bending and stretching in imitation of the Western mania for exercise. In Bombay, especially, Indians are obviously becoming more and more interested in their bodies and less interested in their souls. Lokanath Goswami asked what is that creates the attraction between man and woman, since all bodies are made of the same ingredients. Prabhupada gave an elaborate reply. You want to be attracted. God has made in such a way that both of them are attractive to each other. That's all. You want to be attracted. Therefore, woman is made attractive. And the woman wants to be attracted. Man is attractive. This is natural arrangement so that you may be bound up by this attraction. You're already bound up, and by this attraction you will be more tightly bound up. Pumsak Striya Mithuni Bhavan Atom. The whole material attraction means a man attraction for woman and a woman attraction for man. But when they are seeking, where is the woman? Where is woman? Where is woman? And the woman is seeking, they come here to make this business. And when they are actually attracted or united, then this bondage will become more tight. Okay, maybe we'll stop here. Yes, so in the previous day, Prabhupada was visiting Bombay temple, and also Surabha. Prabhu is mentioned here. Surabha, it was the best architecture. So in ISKCON at that time, he was managing many projects, and Prabhupada always wanted this project to be like really on the higher level. And it was always like this project in Mayapur or Vrindavan temple. It was really special. It was really built with very high quality, and it was very attractive. That Prabhupada wanted to Indians to be attracted by this movement and to see really how powerful it is that Western are coming and building up such beautiful temples in India. And yeah, that's December 24th, it's very interesting that, I mean, I remember I was listening to many talks, like Prabhupada was always joking with Dr. Patel, they were always fighting. So Dr. Patel, when Prabhupada was in Bombay, maybe some other different places, so during morning walks, Dr. Patel was going with Prabhupada, and they were talking about some philosophical topics, and Dr. Patel sometimes was playing a role of Mayavadi, and Prabhupada was conquering him in the end, and then they always like both were happy and laughing and satisfied. It's a very interesting personality what was with Prabhupada together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Zwei. Okay, I was prepared actually for the verse number 1 because I saw on the small this small desk it was written 1. Well, let's see. Hmm? Yeah, actually. Let me check. 25. Hmm? Yeah, so if text 2 is on current terms, then we're supposed to read in verse number 3. Let's see. So you are sure it's not verse number 1?
I'm not. I think it's
Because with Ramgopal, I was told yesterday, I asked the Akani Mandaji, she told that actually you didn't read Srimad Bhagavatam, you are discussing Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, so maybe. So let's read number 1. So. Okay, then there's a small summary for the chapter, and then we will start with verse number 1. Do we read also summary normally? Right? In this chapter, Shukadeva Goswami describes Ananta, the source of Lord Shiva. Lord Ananta, whose body is completely spiritual, resides at the root of the planet Patala. He always lives in the core of Lord Shiva's heart, and he helps him destroy the universe. Ananta introduces Lord Shiva how to destroy the cosmos, and thus he is sometimes called Tamasi, or one who is in the mood of darkness. He is the original deity of material consciousness, and because he attracts all living entities, he is sometimes known as Sankarsana. The entire material world is situated on the hoods of Lord Sankarsana. From his forehead, he transmits to Lord Shiva the power to destroy this material world. Because Lord Sankarsana is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, many devotees offer him prayers, and in the planetary system of Patala, all the Suras, Asuras, Gandharvas, Vidyaharas, and learned sages offer him their respectful obeisances. The Lord talks with them in a sweet voice. His bodily construction is completely spiritual and very, very beautiful. Anyone who hears about him from a proper spiritual master becomes free from all material conceptions of life. The entire material energy is working according to the plans of Anantadeva. Therefore, we should regard him as the root cause of the material creation. There is no end to his strength, and no one can fully describe him, even with the countless mounts. Therefore he is called Ananta, unlimited. Being very merciful toward all living entities, he has exhibited his spiritual body. Shukadeva Goswami describes the glories of Anantadeva to Maharaja Parikshit in this way. Shri Shuka Uvacha Tasyamala Dishe Trimshat Yujanam Sahasrantara Asteya Dvayikala Bhavata Stamasi Sa Makhyanta Iti Savantiya Drishya Yoh Sarka Sankarshana Maham Iti Abhimana Lakshanam Yam Sankarshanam Iti Achakshate. Do we have no verse on the board, or it's not working? Okay. Yeah. Do you want to repeat the verse? maybe you can take a German. If you... 25, 1. 25. Ja. Shuka Uvacha. Shukadeva Goswami said, Tasya of the planet Patala, Mula Deshe, in the region beneath the base, Trimsat, 30, Yojana, 8 mile units of measurement.
8 mile units of measurement.
Sahasra Antare, at an interval of 1,000. At an interval of 1,000.
At an interval of 1,000.
Aste remains. Ya, which. Why, indeed. Kala, an expansion of an expansion. Bhagavata, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tamasi, related to darkness. Samakhyata, code. Anantaha, Ananta, iti, thus. Satvatiyaha, the devotees. Drashtirudrishya yoha, of matter and spirit. Sankarshanam, the drawing together. Aham, I. Iti, thus. Abhimana, by self-conception. Lakshanam, sympathize. Yam, whom. Sankarshanam, Sankarshana. Iti, thus. Achakshate, learned scholar describe. Translation. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said to Maharaja Parikshit, my dear king, approximately 240,000 miles beneath the planet Patala lives another incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the expansion of Lord Vishnu, known as Lord Ananta or Lord Sankarsana. He is always in the transcendental position, but because he is worshipped by Lord Shiva, the deity of Tamaguna or darkness, he is sometimes called Tamasi. Lord Ananta is the predominating deity with the material mode of ignorance, as well as the false ego of all conditioned souls. When a conditioned living being thinks, I am the enjoyer and this material world is meant to be enjoyed by me, this conception of life is dictated to him by Sankarsana. Thus, the mundane conditioned soul thinks himself the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad. There is a class of men akin to Mayavadi philosophers who misinterpret the Ham Brahmasmi and Soham Vedic mantras to mean I am the supreme Brahman and I am identical with the Lord. This kind of false conception, in which one thinks himself the supreme enjoyer, is a kind of illusion. It is described elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.8. Yanasya maho yam aham mameti. As explained is about verse Lord Sankarsana is the predominating deity of the false conception. Krishna confirms this in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannavishto matah smritir gyanam aphanam cham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart as Sankarsana, and when a demon thinks himself one with the Supreme Lord, the Lord keeps him in that darkness. Although such a demonic living entity is only an insignificant part of the Supreme Lord, he forgets his true position and thinks he is the Supreme Lord. Because his forgetfulness is created by Sankarsana, he is sometimes called Tamasi. The name Tamasi does not indicate that he has a material body. He is always transcendental, but because he is super soul of Lord Shiva, who must perform tamasic activities, Sankarsana is sometimes called Tamasi. So again the verse, Shri Shukadeva Goswami said to Maharaja Parikshit, my dear king, approximately 240,000 miles beneath the planet Partava lives another incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the expansion of Lord Vishnu, known as Lord Ananta or Lord Sankarsana. He is always in the transcendental position, but because he is worshipped by Lord Shiva, the deity of Tamaguna or darkness, he is sometimes called Tamasi. Lord Ananta is the predominating deity of the material mode of ignorance as well as the false ego of all conditioned souls. When a conditioned living being thinks I am the enjoyer and this world is meant to be enjoyed by me, this conception of life is dictated to him by Sankarsana. Thus, the mundane conditioned soul thinks himself the Supreme Lord. Amagyana timirandasya ginanjana shalakaya chakshurumilitam gyana tasmai Shri Gurave namaha Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam stapitam yena bhutale svaya rupa kadamahyam dadati swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapata Rupyascha Kripa Sinhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So yeah, we are continue to read Srimad Bhagavatam, and this chapter we are going lower and lower to the bottom of the universe, and it's very interesting that also, so that Sankarsana, the deity of Lord Shiva, lives under the Lord Shiva's planet. So as we know from previous chapter, Lord Shiva lives above Sankarsana's planet. And usually, like on the Earth planet, we look in the sky and think, oh, God is somewhere like in the sky, he's on top of universe. But also, yes, he's also there, but at the same time, he's also under us. And Sankarsana, so it's one of four deities. But we know there's Chaturvyuha and Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva. And these four predominant deities, the deities of intelligence, mind, false ego. Sankarsana is responsible for false ego, and Vasudeva is for chitta or consciousness. Also, in one verse, in the third chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says that the one who wants to get rid of false ego, he has to serve Shiva in the mood as the Shiva is the devotee of Lord Sankarsana, and then one can get rid of false ego. But in our case, it's go not only to get rid of false ego, but also understand that we are spiritual, that we are servants of the Krishna, and that not we only free from false ego, but also we have like different ego, spiritual ego, what is connected with the spiritual world, with Krishna and service. And that Prabhupada says like, that false ego, that Lord Sankarsana is responsible for false ego, and people never in this world ask themselves, am I an enjoyer or servant? Yeah, that's obvious that I'm an enjoyer. Then no one asks himself, maybe, no, I'm a servant. And Prabhupada says, actually you are both. You are a servant and an enjoyer, but you are serving in a wrong way, and you cannot really enjoy this. Because if you serve in the proper way, you understand your position as a particle of the God, then you will be serving and enjoying at the same time. So you just have to find the proper goal to serve, and then you will be satisfied. And in this material world, that Lord Sankarsana, he gives this strong identifications that okay, we are this body, we are false ego, and we are meant to be enjoying this material world, and that also so it's also based on faith that okay, an enjoyer, and what everything what in this material life is meant for my enjoyment. That by Krishna's view, he gives this idea that we are enjoying, that we can enjoy even without this conception. If one has no this conception in material world, then he cannot really exist. That we know also Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says about faith. So for spiritual people, it's very like faith. It's very important topic what we believe in and what our faith is based on. Sorry, just lost. And that always everyone's activity based on the some identification on the false ego, or like Lord Chaitanya says, it's our real ego or our Swarupa is Krishnara Nityadasa, to be servant of the God. And so anyway, everyone has to have a conception of false or any identification with something that one can act properly in this material world. That we identificate us with devotees, that we are trying to serve God, and it gives us potency to be active in material world. That sometimes we can see that devotee who are stuck in one position between this material and spiritual conception of the life, they don't know how to deal. I'm not a devotee, and I don't feel myself as a devotee, and at the same time I don't feel myself as an enjoyer in this material world. And what should I do? How to act? And it's very difficult. Or it's like stepping a spiritual life that we have to come through. And how we do this in our spiritual lives, that it comes to true faith. So it's also what Krishna gives us, and our faith based, like Prabhupada says, it's based on Shastras, and that we are learning, okay, first we are reading something, then we are thinking, also we experience something that gives us faith. And material faith, it's compared to spiritual faith, it's more grab faith, that already we have this faith that since many lifetimes we believe that, okay, we know how to deal with this material world, we know how to enjoy, etc. But spiritual faith is very subtle, and that Bhaktivinoda Thakur says it can be easily destroyed just by offenses or not appropriate association or this word but association also, and that it's spirit of faith is more subtle and it's based on Shastra, and that there are many things we are not really, maybe in the beginning we cannot feel, I cannot really understand or perceive, let's say. And that's why it's can be easily destroyed, but it's not very easy to how to say, recover or recover. Yeah, that's why we have to really take care of our faith and to be careful with this. That usually we often say to not perform offenses, to be careful with other devotees, to be really conscious about what we are doing. And also, as we know from Bhagavad Gita, it's also Bhakti Yoga is called also Buddhi Yoga, that also our faith is based also on intelligence, that and it's intelligence, it's a part of our faith or of our false ego, I would say that. So like he says in Bhagavad Gita 2:41 that those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. And beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So so as we know, these lawyers of our, I would say, psychology, that it goes mind, senses, mind, intelligence, and the false ego. And if we we have problems with self-identification, then it happens what Krishna says here, that our intelligence became like many branched. Or should I enjoy, or should I practice Krishna consciousness, or maybe a little bit of both, or maybe I have to do something else, and what should I do? No, maybe actually I will give up with Krishna consciousness and I will enjoy, and then I'm tired of enjoyment and I will try to come back to my spiritual practice. And this is very dangerous position. Also, what Prabhupada is mentioning here, that Krishna is saying here, I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. That Krishna gives all this. Sorry. So all these things appearing from Krishna, and by his mercy, or that we can remember something or forget. So everything is under his control. And also, like when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, especially such things as cosmic manifestation, many things we cannot really experience maybe in this life. We cannot really see all this planet, we cannot experience all these living entities in the material universe, or we know from our experience that, yeah, like we see some planets above us, maybe moon, the sun, and maybe someone is living there, but maybe not. And yeah, but Prabhupada always was saying, we don't care that materialistic are saying, like, we believe in Shastra and all this description of of material universe and sorry. Yeah, and our faith is based on Shastra, that we gradually increase our faith from beginning. For example, yeah, we accept some small things, and then we will see, okay, it works, and gradually we have more faith in Shastra, and then our faith increases more and more, and then in the end, okay, we can accept, well, yes, maybe I believe in that theory, or in this description of Shastra, that the universe exactly as it is, and that Krishna is manifest himself in many different ways, like he lives as a Sankarsana under almost on the bottom of the ocean, and also he lives on Dhruva Loka, the Kshirodakasha Vishnu, and also he's in everyone's heart. Kshirodakasha Vishnu is like we know there's two Chaturyugas. The one Chaturyuga we discuss now, it's Sankarsana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, and also there's second Chaturyuga, it's Kshirodakasha Vishnu, Harpadakasha Vishnu, and who's the third one?
I mean that
Kshirodakasha Vishnu, Harpadakasha Vishnu, and Karanadakasha Vishnu.
I mean that Vishnu, who is living on Dhruva Loka.
Yeah, that's Kshirodakasha Vishnu, the Vishnu who is Vishnu on the milk ocean. Usually it's described in Shastras when demigods have some issues, or like they got attacked by demons, they don't know what to do. Usually they go and approach this Vishnu who is living there, and then like usually, or Brahma goes itself, or maybe usually, yeah, they send Brahma, please go to Lord Vishnu, and we need some help and support, otherwise we are in troubles. And then Lord Vishnu says, okay, like we will do this that way, or just you have to wait. Yeah, quite often he says, yeah, don't worry, just wait, everything will be fine. And then like for example, Vamana, also Maharaja Bali, he lives also on the lower planet system. It was also an issue with him, and then Lord appeared as a Vamana Dev, and he approached Bali and asked him, oh, I'm a small Brahmana, can I please actually he didn't ask him. Bali Maharaj, he just, because he's a king, he was, it was his natural position to give a donation to Brahmana, and he asked him, oh yeah, I see you are Brahmana, can I give something to you, maybe a small piece of land, like maybe a few steps? Yeah, and then, yeah, that's what the Lord replied, Vamanadev, actually I don't need that much, only 3 steps, and that's it. And by this way he took all the Bali Maharaj empire. And at that time I think Bali Maharaj, because demigods, they offended, or they did some mistakes, they lost their power, and they lost the control of universe. So Bali Maharaj took the whole universe with the whole demons. So that was time universe was under demon control. And Lord Sankarshan, so our Lord, as we read here, so our Lord Ananta, he's also in charge for the destroying universe. So usually it's also will be described in the next verses that he's waiting, he's angry that people are really enjoying these material lives, they don't use their lives properly to understand the goal of their lives, and then in the end of Brahma's day he becomes angry, and then from his forehead Lord Shiva appears and then destroying starts. So like every Brahma's day this universe is destroying up to the highest planetary system. And then the next day it reveals again. So it happens every Brahma day. Yeah, sorry. Maybe some questions or comments or commentaries. Okay, then maybe we'll stop here. It was a short class. Yeah, next time maybe I will be talking slowly and then we can extend our Srimad Bhagavatam class. Yeah, so as a summary of this verse, that or the summary of the lecture, we can say that as again we get confirmation from Shastra that everyone, like, it's not only confirmation, but Krishna shows us in details how everything in this world is functioning. That every detail, that it's not only it's that not what, okay, we have to believe in something and that's it. That what I like Krishna philosophy, that Krishna describes in details how this material world is functioning, and like in details that everything is very personal, that even like for everything someone is in charge, for each part of this universe, for everything there's someone who is taking care of it. And and by reading this we understand, okay, we can increase our faith, understanding how huge and how how structured this universe is. So it's not only faith, not only about our belief or not belief, but it's very structured, and everything has its meaning. And in this case, it's Shukadeva Goswami, Sankarsana, that he's in charge of the false ego. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
Can I still ask one question? Or?
Yeah, sure.
So, when Lord Sankarshan is in charge of this false ego, this feeling that, okay, I'm the enjoyer, this is such a troublesome identification. Why does it need to be there? I mean, one could say, okay, maybe better without.
Without this identification. That's we can say as devotees, oh my God, why we have such a strong identification? Or also like gopis are complaining about Brahma's creation. Oh my God, who could create such a horrible universe that even when we close our eyes we cannot see Krishna? But it's perception of devotees, and yeah, this material world is more, yeah, like we become devotees, but the source and the reason to create this material world is to enjoy or forget Krishna. And without this false ego, as we already have discussed today, people cannot really work or to do something that is false. This bondage makes us active, that we can achieve, we can do something, we can have some ideas, some desires, and we are active in this material world in case to achieve something. Also that, as Prabhupada mentioned this verse from 558, it's also from the same country. I think it's Jabhadev says that the most powerful bondage is between woman and man, that everything starts from that point and then increase in so many other aspects. That's what gives us also some taste in this material life. Otherwise, what we would do. So of course we are seeking for pleasure, and it starts from such a relationship, and we have some taste to live in this material world. So or mostly the taste comes from such relationships. Even if we have car is not really reciprocate to our relationship, and well, it will not give us really that much enjoyment. Yeah, so as a conclusion, that we can enjoy this material world, that we can feel okay, we are strong, we are gods, we are here to enjoy.
That's another question.
Yes.
You said that the faith is very subtle and very easy to damage. So when the faith has been damaged, how can you fix it again?
Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, it's yeah, usually our faith got damaged by, so maybe it's not because of maybe some points of philosophy, but yeah, there's maybe some topics why we can lose our faith. Maybe I would say mostly it's some emotional things that we are have some troubles with devotee, and it's really, yeah, that's really the biggest source maybe of how to say, sorry, forgot the word. No, yeah, disappointment or disturbance. Yes, and we lose the faith. But what I can say about my experience, that maybe the more we yeah, maybe that we are. Yeah, sorry. I heard recently a lecture from my Guru Maharaj. He was also saying about this, but also I was wondering he didn't give a direct answer on this topic. He was talking about Padashamrita, about also faith, but what I'm thinking now that well, of course. Yes, there's still something what has brought us to Krishna consciousness, that this was something what we have some belief in. Okay, it will make me happy, in some or other way, and sometimes we still believe in happiness in Krishna consciousness in the way that we want. That I want to be happy in such way, so I am expecting that maybe I'm come to Krishna consciousness, and I'll find a good wife or nice association, and everything will be very nice and beautiful. but Krishna has a different perspective of our spiritual life and of our happiness. And sometimes it's not really comes together, but our expectations from life are different. What Krishna wants to give from us, and sometimes it's at some point we have to. If you already lost this phase that Krishna is our like really well wisher, so and maybe we don't believe in this anymore, and everything is lost. Yes, and I think in what I would say now, like if it's not, we have to go from beginning to really understand, like from step by step, what the idea and what I want to do in this Krishna consciousness and what is my goal, and like how to recover. Maybe you have to go. I mean, not you. Just maybe I saying about my experience. Yeah, I have to go through some things like again with different intention and understanding to like understand why actually I'm doing this, why I'm in Krishna consciousness, why like what is this all about. And
to go deeper.
Yeah, that at some point either you go deeper or you think okay, it's nothing to do here and I'm going to enjoy, or I mean just live normal life or how I want to live.
It's actually a very interesting point. For example, Satchidananda Swami Maharaj, he also spoke about that a few times already. I heard him speak about that for many decades he was practicing chanting and Krishna consciousness, but still at some point he felt it's dry, So he was wondering, he was, sannyasi and practicing for decades already, and then forgot. So he also understood that he has to make more deeper connection, like on a relationship level with Krishna and with the holy name and everything. I personally also had that experience that when I'm just on the surface practicing Krishna consciousness, but then my faith is also weak. If I see myself that I want to enjoy something or whatever, and I'm not so serious, not so sincere, not to say Krishna consciousness, then it's also very easy to be distraught, basically.
Yeah, so at some point Krishna tastes our face to go deeper at that point, to not like really follow our ideas, but to really go into this ocean of bhakti. But it's true, it's very difficult to get rid of all these things, and we got traumatized, and it's like you cannot say okay now you have to, or it's Krishna is still your well wisher. So for every person I think there's different recipe. Krishna's prepare different things up to bring his face or one's face back. For example, I know one story. There was one. It's my good sister. She's traveling. She's preaching, and once she was in the flight, and they were taking some prasadam. And also there was a man sitting next to her, and they also offered some prasadam to him. And he was like, suddenly he became angry. Oh my God! No, I don't want you eat food, and and so annoying, and oh my God, and don't touch me, and don't tell me anymore. I'm done with you. And she was like really surprised what was going on, that actually I didn't tell you nothing, just offered you some food. And he told that actually I was practicing Krishna consciousness like many years ago, and now I give it up and I'm trying to forget, but I'm always, oh my God, everywhere when I'm going, Krishna sends me devotees. He reminds me about himself, and he makes some like such situations that I cannot actually forget him, even despite I want to, but he also creates some situations, and then I think he started to cry, and like still he in the heart he had some connections with it. So it's not was only like, yeah, okay, he was not truly in that mood. Okay, I don't care anymore, but still because maybe something still was in his heart, his desire to maybe to change something. I don't know. Yeah, and also like association with good friends in Krishna consciousness is always very nice. That if we have some like nice friends like within many years who can really support us in different situations. So everything is happening in this material life, but yeah, good friends always can support and yeah, like just accept us as we are. Okay, like now we have such problems or such situation. We cannot experience this from like just like I don't know, just from everyone. But it will be always like this. But yeah, friends are always really. I think friends and Krishna consciousness that really helps us to go through many like very difficult things in Krishna consciousness to survive. Let's say. Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Сильно быстро говорил, да? Блин, а я себе сказал начать.
Тоже на английском, да?
А?
Ничего не поняла, конечно. Я его никогда не
Просто,
учила.
видать, нервничаете.
Да, что-то, наверное. Редкая лекция, да, надо поспокойнее. А я не знаю, кто это.
Что-то понять?
Ну, дело в том, что, знаете, вот, допустим...
Я его никогда не учила.
Скажите, пожалуйста, теперь, о чем лекция была?
Не надо.
Что, прям так быстро, что ли?
Не надо, я почитаю на русском потом, дома.
Серьезно?
Не, я просто его не учила никогда.
Дело в том, что вот матушка, допустим, они не говорят.